Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here. And this is going to be a very interesting series of videos. I have the new MacBook Pro right here with the touch bar, and I have never owned a Mac before, have very little to no usage with any Mac product in the past, throughout college, even with video editing. I have always stuck with Windows, so it's going to be a big change for me. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and do a 2-week challenge with this MacBook Pro and strictly use this computer throughout all my daily needs, bring it with me on trips, etc. And then go ahead and do check-in videos throughout the 2 weeks, talk about the hardware, talk about Mac OS, which I have no familiarity with as well. And with that being said, feel free to drop a comment and give me some tips, suggestions for apps, anything you'll make my experience with the MacBook Pro a little bit better. I also bought Final Cut Pro as well to use with this, so I'm going to go ahead and edit on a MacBook all of my videos throughout the 2 weeks on this device as well. With that being said, let's begin the 2-week challenge with an unboxing video along with some first impressions as well. Going to set this guy up. Like I said, drop some comments, help me out guys. I will definitely need it. And of course, stay tuned for more check-in videos throughout these 2 weeks. Now to begin, I did get the 15-inch model of the MacBook Pro. I do believe it comes with a couple extra USB Type-C slots in the 13-inch. I did get a couple upgrades as well. I upgraded to the 2.9 GHz i7 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, along with the Radeon Pro 460, and have the 512 gig SSD inside. And opening up that box, you are greeted with the laptop right away up on top. Now, let's go ahead and take that off and take a look at what else is actually in the box. So, designed by Apple in California, looks like these are just a bunch of booklets, probably a user guide, maybe warranty information. So you'll see, and a couple stickers as well, Apple stickers. Now, here is a cable, which looks like a USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable. So now this actually looks like it's pretty lengthy. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then here is what looks like your AC adapter, which is pretty large, the power brick. But of course, this just goes into your outlet as opposed to having that middle piece that's actually pretty bulky. So here is your adapter. And of course, with this laptop being based around USB Type-C, you just use this cable, and that's pretty much everything in the box. You just have booklets and your charging cable as well. Kind of a bit of a shame they don't include any adapters and also any cables for to relate to the USB Type-C as well. Moving along, let's take the wrapping off of this laptop right here. And it's fairly light and also fairly thin as well. I don't see an issue carrying this guy around. Of course, the 13-inch model is going to be a little bit different. So let's go ahead and lift this up. You do have a bit of a keyboard protection right there. And once I lifted that up, it actually turned on right away. So it's going to go ahead and boot up for the first time. I'm going to go ahead and assume I'm going to have to turn it on. But let's go ahead and add some protection to this guy. All right, added some protection to my MacBook with this marble slick wrap. I will link to them down below if you're interested. And I also noticed, actually, when I was about to apply this slick wrap, obviously when I flip open the display, the device turned on. I'm not exactly sure where the power button is. So I'm going to go ahead and, obviously this is the touch bar, and I know that this is a fingerprint scanner, and it also clicks in, so I'm going to assume that that's the power button, but pressing it didn't really do anything for me. I wanted to just go ahead and put it into sleep mode, but I'll go ahead and look into that in a little bit, but I did notice that there's no markings on this button, and I believe it is the power button. And taking a look at the design, you'll see on the left side there's 2 USB Type-C slots, which they call Thunderbolt 3, and then flipping it on over to the right side, interestingly enough, they included a headphone jack. I'm actually kind of surprised about that. I just kind of assumed there wouldn't be one, but there is. And then of course with the 15-inch model, you have 2 extra USB Type-C slots as well. And that's pretty much it on the outside. No HDMI slot, nothing like that, which is pretty much why everyone says you're going to go ahead and need some adapters for this guy. Taking a look at the keyboard, you'll notice that the escape button and all of the other function controls are on that touch bar. So those are not physical buttons up at the top there. You also see the speakers are right in front, which I really like because the sound will be coming towards you. Now that trackpad is very large, and I also noticed that you can pretty much press anywhere on the trackpad to click that mouse. There is force touch, so there's some feedback as well when I'm pressing this down. Give me some tips on some force touch features that you can use. I'll check that out in just a second. Let's go ahead and go through the walkthrough. Now I'm going to skip through most of this stuff and only talk about anything that's actually noticeable. So I selected English as my main language. It looks like they offer a transfer information to your Mac, whether it be from a Mac or Windows PC. For the time being, I'm just going to transfer everything via a external hard drive. Now some first impressions after typing my password and signing in on the keyboard. The key travel distance is a little bit shallow, I've noticed. And also it's somewhat loud. So very clicky when actually pressing it, which is a little bit different what I'm used to on the last laptop that I was using. So it might take a little bit of a while to get used to. All right, now here's something notable. You are going to set up your fingerprint scanner for Touch ID on this device. So basically it says place your finger, very similar to what you would do on a phone's fingerprint scanner, and just kind of raise it back up. There's no vibration feedback, anything like that. And looks like it's going to go ahead and register. It says keep going, capture the edges now. And I hope, like I said, it's going to say something about it being a power button in the future. I believe it is a power button. I'm going to look in the manual after this video, of course. It says Touch ID is ready. Go ahead and hit continue, setting up your Mac. I believe that's it. So really nothing out of the ordinary. Set up Wi-Fi password, sign into my accounts, iCloud, Siri, all that good stuff. All right, so we have everything set up. Let's go ahead and check out the operating system for the first time. Right away, I want to make a mention that Final Cut Pro was not included in the box in any way, so I'm wondering if it's pre-installed on this guy or if I need to go to the App Store. Looks like all of your apps are down at the bottom here. I don't know if there's a specific way to get to all apps. Let me know if there is. So Finder, and of course I'm going to do some research, so don't worry, I won't just have to be in the dark after this video. After this video, I'll go ahead and do a little research, figure out how to get to all my apps. Looks like there's a top bar with Edit Go, so you can go to all my files, looks like. So here's your File Explorer, iCloud Drive, Desktop, Window, so you can minimize, zoom, and cycle through windows, and a help search. So up at the right here, looks like you have AirPlay, so looking for an Apple TV or your Wi-Fi. Battery, looks like it came shipped with a decent amount of battery. Now I also want to make note at how much space this has, if I can actually figure out how much space this has right out of the box. All right, so I figured it out. You just press this Apple up here and hit About This Mac, and it gives you a bunch of information about the specs, all that good stuff. And then you can just click the storage right here, and you'll see out of that 500 gig storage, you have 471 gigs out of the box. I really haven't installed anything yet. Like I said, I don't see Final Cut installed anywhere. I'm going to have to go to the App Store. But I also noticed that there's Siri right here. You can go ahead and search as well, a quick search button. And then this menu brings up a bunch of widgets over on the right side. So very similar looking to that on the iPhone. All right, so I went to the App Store and searched for Final Cut. And it looks like Final Cut Pro X is right here, which I did purchase. And it looks like I just have to hit accept. So it looks like I don't have to purchase it through the device. I think it's linked to my account. All right, so I went ahead and typed in my email, and I also noticed Launchpad is right here, which I believe is how you go ahead and go to all your apps. And there's Final Cut Pro right there within the Launchpad. You swipe over on the trackpad actually to get over there, I'm noticing. You'll see you have FaceTime included as well with that camera up top. I actually don't even know how many megapixels that camera is. I'll make an annotation about that. So you can jump into a calculator if I want to go ahead and go into Safari, maybe go to google.com. So it seems fairly quick to get to the Launchpad. I don't know if there's actually a quick shortcut to get to the Launchpad. That would actually be kind of nice. It's kind of funny that it includes something called Launchpad, because this kind of reminds me of an app drawer on Android. So that's actually a little kind of funny. Instead of a start menu, it has just kind of an app drawer. One of the final things I'd like to do is take a look at this touch bar up at the top. Now I'm in the Safari browser right now. If I hit escape, you'll see it gives some suggestions for text. You can go ahead and turn your mute your volume. You can turn it up, change your brightness as well, and I believe that's Siri, and it is. So you also have an arrow. Looks like some nice animations opening these up. If I press X, you see you have all your emojis as well, which I don't necessarily know if I'll use a lot of these, but it looks like touch responsiveness is very good. I'm actually pretty impressed with how responsive that is. Now, I also want to make a note that when I go ahead and go to type something, it gives some suggestions. Now, also, for example, if I switch an app, so if I go to the calculator, you'll see, hey, look, it actually adds some more functionality and kind of changes on a per app basis. Taking a look at the keyboard in general, I'm going to have to learn these function, control, option, alt, and command keys. I honestly don't know exactly what the command button really will do. I'm going to learn all this good stuff, read all your comments as well. Hopefully you guys give me some good suggestions. I'd really appreciate it. That's pretty much it. So that would be the first video in the 2-week challenge of my MacBook Pro with the touch bar as well. Going to go ahead and do lots of check-in videos coming up very soon, so hopefully you click that subscribe button so you're notified. Click that thumbs up as well. I'd really appreciate it. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching.